What kind of leader leads the world, yet his influence keeps rising? What kind of man comes from a wooden house in a poor island community, and ends up advising presidents, corporations, and global institutions? This is the story of Dr. Myles Munroe, the man who didn't just teach leadership, he decoded it. Welcome to the Diaries of Power, where we study the minds, philosophies, and powers behind the world's greatest leaders. Today, we go deep into the life of a man who believed that leadership is not a position, it is a purpose. Myles Egbert Munroe was born in 1954 in Nassau, Bahamas, into a family so poor they lived in a wooden house with no electricity and no running water. A family of 11, squeezed into a small space. Society didn't see potential in him. Schools labeled children like him as not likely to succeed. His environment told him one story, but his mind, even as a teenager, told him another. He once said, "Your beginning may be humble, but your future is great." Not because it sounds nice, but because he lived it. Growing up in the Bahamas, he faced what many young people face today. Social inequality, identity crisis, low expectations, and a system designed to limit the dreams of the poor. And yet, something unusual began to grow inside him. A restlessness, a refusal to accept the narrative he was born into. Like every powerful leader, his journey began the day he asked himself, "Why am I here?" As a young man, Myles stumbled upon a concept that would become the backbone of his life's message. Purpose, he said, "Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable." That sentence changed millions. But before it changed the world, it changed him. Because when he discovered purpose, he discovered power. He realized something shocking. Leadership is not something you pursue. Leadership is something you become. This became the defining idea that separated Myles Munroe from every other motivational teacher. He wasn't teaching people to aim high. He was teaching them to become who they were created to be. When he got a scholarship to Oral Roberts University in the United States, everything shifted. He studied fine arts, education, and later administration, graduating with honors, proving again that environment is not destiny. But the real transformation began when he returned home. Most people travel abroad and seek better lives overseas. But Myles Munroe went back to the Bahamas with a mission: to build people, to build nations, to build leaders. In 1980, he founded the Bahamas Faith Ministries International (BFMI), and what started as a small gathering became a global leadership and personal development movement. He began writing, and then, the world started listening. His books, especially, Understanding Your Potential, The Spirit of Leadership, Becoming a Leader, spread across continents like wildfire. His message had something missing in many leadership conversations: identity, vision, purpose, kingdom principles. Corporations invited him, governments invited him, prime ministers sought his counsel, CEOs requested his wisdom. He wasn't just popular, he was respected, because he didn't flatter leaders. He confronted them with truth. Myles Munroe's leadership philosophy shook the world for one main reason. He believed that every human is born a leader, but most die followers. He argued that leadership isn't about position or titles. It is about self-discovery, discipline, and vision. He became the global father of transformational leadership long before it became a corporate buzzword. Let's break down his leadership impact. 1. He redefined leadership as service. He taught that the greatest leaders are the greatest servants. Just like the greatest trees begin as invisible seeds. 2. He introduced the spirit of leadership, a radical idea that leadership is a mindset before it becomes an action. 3. He challenged political leaders. He told presidents that power is not measured by how many people serve you, but by how many people you serve. 4. He influenced corporate culture. Companies such as Nike, Coca-Cola, IBM, AT&T, and many top global institutions invited him to train their executives. 5. He built leaders, not followers. This is why his words still sound fresh today. He didn't teach people how to motivate. He taught people how to transform. When Myles Munroe passed away in 2014, the world didn't just lose a leader. It lost a library of wisdom, a library of leadership principles, a library of purpose-driven philosophy. But here's the interesting thing. His influence didn't die, it multiplied. Why? Because true leaders don't leave followers, they leave footprints. Today, his books are taught in leadership schools. His speeches are used by CEOs. His words are quoted by presidents. His teachings are studied by creators and visionaries. He became a global standard for purpose-driven leadership. Myles Munroe believed that great leaders are not born in palaces. They are born in obscurity, forged by adversity, and refined by purpose. If you want to understand power, understand your purpose, your vision, your identity. Because as he said, you are not a mistake. You were born to solve a problem. This has been the Diaries of Power. If you learned something, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, leadership is not a position. It's a revelation.